Bruce Eisener, and I'm a mental health worker with Tikinagan Child and Family Services. And I've been asked to do a couple little videos to help give some suggestions on how to deal with some of this COVID craziness that we've all been dealing with the last little while. A lot of people's anxiety levels have been going up a lot. And I remember when I was a young man, I didn't even really know what anxiety was. My parents used to write letters and say things, "Oh, I'm anxiously waiting your arrival," and I thought, well, anxiety must be something that's good then, and actually when you think about it, anxiety can be good in a way, because it's helped us survive as human beings. I mean, if you've ever been in the bush, sometimes you're not the apex predator out there, Sometimes we're not the top of the food chain, and that anxiety can really assist us in a way, because you think about it. I mean, your heart starts pumping, adrenaline starts pumping through your body, you get tense, you're ready to act. You're ready to fight for your life, or you're ready to run away fast, or you're ready to even freeze. So a predator might walk right by you and not even notice you. So anxiety can be a good thing. If the mouse didn't fear the cat, the mouse wouldn't live very long. However, there's times when anxiety kind of works against us. Like, say you're in school and the teacher asks you a question, now you got to speak in front of the whole class. You feel that anxiety start to rise. Or maybe a classmate who you don't know that well comes up and approaches you and asks you about tonight's homework. And you feel kind of nervous. I don't know this person too well. Or maybe, if you're an adult and your boss asks you to step into their office for a few minutes because they want to talk to you, that anxiety might start to rise. Now, chances are you're in no real danger, but your body reacts like you are, Your heart starts to beat, palms get sweaty, maybe your stomach feels kind of queasy, maybe you get a headache, maybe you get flushed or whatever, but you're reacting like you're in danger, but you're not. So today we're going to talk about a few things you can do, to help relax and help get a handle on this anxiety. So the first thing that we can do is focus on our breath. So what I'd like you to do right now is put a hand on your belly and a hand on your chest. Now just notice your breath. Don't try to change your breath in any way, just focus. Do you notice if you're breathing in through your chest? Is your chest rising? Are you doing a belly breath? Do you notice your belly rising? Just focus on your breath. Now, if a distraction or a stray thought comes along, just notice it and go, there's a thought, and just let it go and return your focus to your breath. Now I'd like you to try something different, because a lot of us don't really breathe properly. I know that sounds funny, but we don't. We do these shallow breaths in our chest, and we don't really inflate our lungs fully. So what we want to do is do a belly breath. And I'm like the perfect guy to be showing you this, because I got a nice big belly. You should be able to see my belly rise. So yeah, put your hands back on your chest and your belly. And this time, take a deep breath through your nose. You should notice your belly rising. Hold and slowly exhale. Again, Take a deep breath through your nose. Hold. And slowly exhale. You can open or close your eyes. It's up to you. Take another deep breath in. And slow exhale. And imagine you're breathing in relaxation. Breathing out tension. Do a couple more. Breathe in relaxation. And breathe out tension. One more. There. Now, notice how you feel. Chances are, I bet you feel a little bit more relaxed. Okay, now there's another little technique I'd like to share with you. Now this is a good one if you're starting to feel panicky, you can feel the anxiety rising. It's sort of a way to distract yourself and get your mind off the things that are causing your anxiety. It's called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now this is a grounding technique, and it's pretty helpful for a lot of people, so I thought I'd share it with you today. So if you're starting to feel anxious, you're starting to feel a little panicky, just stop for a moment, take some breaths, and then look around. See if you can name 5 things that you can see. So I can see the sand. I can see the water. I can see that seagull over there. I can see there's trees. And I can see this piece of driftwood on the beach. Now, what are 4 things that I can feel right now? Now, I'm not talking about emotional feelings, I'm talking about the sense of touch. So right now, there's kind of a breeze on me right now. So I feel the breeze on my hands and on my face. I can feel my feet on the beach. I can feel, my clothing against my body. So there's 4 things I can feel. Now, what are 3 things I can hear right now? Well, I can hear the wind in the trees. I can hear the waves gently lapping against the shore. I was hearing the seagulls a few moments ago, but they seem to have stopped. So, other than the sound of my own voice, I guess that's the only things I can hear. Now, what are 2 things I can smell? Well, it smells like fresh air out here. It smells really fresh and clean. It's a nice and invigorating smell. I can smell that sip of coffee I just had a few moments ago, so I can still smell the coffee. And one thing I can taste, well, I can still taste the coffee. I have coffee breath. Alright, there's one more skill I'd like to share with you. This is to help you deal with distress. In fact, it's called a distress tolerance skill. It's a series of skills, and it's some of them are lifestyle things, some of them are more emotional things, thinking things, and it's called accepts. So, important thing to remember is that, when we're on the beach, we're watching the waves come and go, well, our feelings can be like that too. Sometimes you get overwhelmed with anxiety or depression. If you can just ride out those feelings, eventually they will fade somewhat, they will dissipate, and they'll pull away and pass, or at least lessen in intensity. And until they do, you can use the skills called accepts. Now, accepts is an anagram, and the A in accepts stands for activities. So now, activities should be something that require some kind of mental effort or thought. I mean, for a lot of young people, video games are an important activity. Social media is an important activity.
Take me home, I wanna ride. You wanna know, just lose control. You wanna know, just lose control.
But these things really aren't enough on their own. I mean, that can be part of a good, balanced life, but you should be doing some more things too. Whether it's going for a bike ride, playing outside with friends. You can go pick up a fishing rod at the hardware store for a few dollars and a handful of lures and go down the lake and try your luck.
Which is exactly what we at John West want.
Telescopes are pretty inexpensive these days. There's art.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
There's camping. There's all kinds of things that you can be doing. But it's important to get out of your rooms, get off the devices, and do something else as well. Contributing is the first C in accepts. Now, when we're making a contribution to someone, we're focusing on something other than ourselves. We could volunteer for an organization. If there's a cause that you feel passionate about, I mean, there's many, many good causes you can get involved with. Or it could be just something as simple as asking your parents, like, hey, can I help with supper today? Or keep your room clean. Just something that you can do for others, because I guarantee you it'll make you feel better about yourself. When you're helping out others, I mean, that's a real self-esteem booster. It'll really improve your mood, knowing that you've made a significant contribution to help someone else out. The next C in accepts is comparisons. So, when we compare ourselves, I mean, say we're going through a stressful time now. Man, think back in the past. I mean, there's been times where you've gone through stressful times before. Now think about how you handled it then. And
Evening, Miss fields?
chances are you're doing better now than you were then. And you can compare yourself to yourself. Like, boy, I'm going through a hard time now, but, you know, I went through a worse time before and I made it through. I can make it through this too. The E in accepts stands for emotions. And in this case, we're actually talking about opposite emotions. So say you're feeling sad, say you're feeling depressed. Depression wants you to stay in your room. They want you to close that door and don't talk to anyone, because that'll make me stick around longer, you know? And depression wants to stick around. So you might feel like closing that door and not talking to anybody. But really, what you should be doing is the opposite of what you're feeling. So if you get out, think about something you can do to help change your mood. I mean, you could watch some funny cat videos. You know, you could watch a humorous movie. You know, you can go talk to a friend. You can go play with some friends. Talk to your siblings, your parents. There's lots of things that we can do to engage opposite emotions. Like, you're wondering about how that old college roommate's doing. Well, don't wonder about it. Give them a call. Clean the dust off that address book. You know? Call your mom.
Is everybody paying attention? Don't forget to call your grandmother!
Whatever you decide to do, just do it. Don't stay in your room. Don't close that door. Just do something. Now the P in accept stands for push away. Now sometimes when we start ruminating, you know, negative thoughts, we keep thinking the same thing over and over and over, and it can really bring us down. I mean, I call that a negative thought train, you know? What we want to do is derail that train so we can start thinking about something else. Imagine building an imaginary wall between you and that negative thought. And what I like to do sometimes with kids is to actually do this in a physical way. So I'm going to write something down here that's bugging me. I think we can all relate to this, eh? But it doesn't have to be this. Just write something down on a piece of paper. You don't have to show it to anyone else. And take your piece of paper and I'll pick that up later. Now the T in accepts is thoughts. So when our emotions take over, try to focus on your thoughts. There's things you can do to distract yourself. There's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique, which we already talked about. You can count to 10. Or if you're really good at math, you can start at 100 and start subtracting by 7s. Engage your mind. You know, you can think about a list of things. Like, how many types of trucks can you name? How many flavors of ice cream can you name? Or I could start counting these blocks. How many blocks make up that wall? I could just do something to get my mind off of what I'm thinking, use my thoughts in a positive way to change my negative state and stop ruminating about these things. Now the S in accept stands for sensations. And this is when we use physical sensations to distract ourselves from negative feelings. Now there's a number of different things you can do. I mean, we have 5 senses. There's lots of ways that we can engage our senses. I mean, one of my favorite ways is the sense of taste. Porterhouse steak, fried mushrooms, and a baked potato. That'll put a smile on my face. But, you know, it doesn't have to be an elaborate meal. It could be a little snack, you know. Strawberries dipped in vanilla yogurt. Or, you know, a treat, some ice cream. Just something pleasurable that you can taste. You can engage your sense of hearing. You can listen to some uplifting music. I would not suggest listening to some real depressing music or death metal or anything like that. But listen to something uplifting. Listen to some dance music. Put on some Weekend. Fresh baked bread. Boy, nothing smells better than that. Coffee in the morning with bacon. Boy, those are some good smells. Or take a moment to smell some flowers, smell some perfume, some cologne. So we can use our sense of smell as well. We can engage our sense of touch. Soft textures like silk, like fleece, something that's a pleasurable feeling. And we can also engage our sense of...
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Our last sense to talk about is our sense of sight, our vision. Our world is surrounded with beautiful things. You can go for a walk in the forest. You can watch a beautiful sunset. You can find some, pleasing nature show to watch on TV. You can just go outside and go for a walk and look at all the beautiful things around you. And we can engage our sense of vision to get out of that negative state as well. So anyway, there's accepts. And they work. Give them a try next time you're feeling kind of down, feeling kind of distressed, and it'll help, I guarantee it.
I guarantee it.